Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. H.L. Mencken said, "On some great and glorious day, the plain folks of the land will reach their heart's desire at last, and the White House will be adorned by a downright moron." During the 2020 presidential campaign, Joe Biden promised to shut down fossil fuels.
But kiddo, I want you to just take a look, okay? You don't have to agree, but I want you to look in my eyes. I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate. Okay?
In response to Biden's statements, the price of gasoline and natural gas both skyrocketed right after the election. Biden later bragged about the high prices he had created.
When it comes to the gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition that is taking place that, God willing, when it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over.
On his first day in office, Joe Biden shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. And this was actually the second time he shut that pipeline down. The pipeline was commissioned in 2010, but the Obama-Biden administration shut it down in 2015. President Trump restarted construction of the pipeline in 2017, but Joe Biden shut it down on his first day in office in 2021. Biden also halted new oil and gas drilling on public lands. By shutting down the supply of oil, Joe Biden made energy prices skyrocket. And this was the Obama-Biden plan all along.
Under my plan of a cap and trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal power plants, natural gas, you name whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers. Whatever technologies are out there that are being presented, whatever power plants that are being built, that they would have to meet the rigors of that market and the ratcheted down caps that are imposed every year. So if somebody wants to build a coal-powered plant, they can. It's just that it will bankrupt them because they're going to be charged a huge sum for all that greenhouse gas that's being emitted.
Biden accomplished exactly what he wanted to do, but now he's got a problem. There's another election coming up. So now the White House is bragging about near-record production of oil and gas.
And the president is doing everything he can to reduce prices for American families. On the state side, he's urging oil companies to use their profits to increase output. Just to remind you, of course, he's used the biggest tool at his disposal, which is our Strategic Petroleum Reserve, releasing 1 million barrels per day to try to stabilize supply, even as demand increases too. And I will say that many domestic producers have been heeding the president's call to increase domestic supply in terms of at the wellhead. We, some I know have made the claim that this administration is in the way of domestic production, but the numbers here are inarguable. We are now at close to record levels of oil production here in the U.S., averaging now 12 million barrels a day.
The reason that domestic producers are increasing production has nothing to do with Joe Biden's pleas. The reason they're increasing production is because they can make a lot of money with the very high prices Joe Biden created. The New York Times says that draining the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is securing U.S. energy independence. That's the equivalent of saying that draining your life savings is securing your financial future. Another analogy would be emptying a water reservoir in order to guarantee your supply of water in the future. As is typical for the New York Times and the Biden administration, their logic is exactly inverted from reality. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve was created to defend America against foreign enemies, not ones in the Oval Office. Biden's policies are completely erratic and insane. But the real problem is Democrat voters. Nearly 80% of them approve of Joe Biden's destruction of America. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this dark comedy for the past 14 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki, and Upala on the web at realclimatescience.com.